Hello everyone and welcome to Cherub Teaching Center. Today I'm going to train you on the data tools in Excel. My name is Poonam and I'm a Microsoft certified educator. In the data tools in Excel today, I'm going to train you on four things. That is data validation, drop-down filters, remove duplicate entries in Excel, and how you can convert actually the text to columns entry in Excel. Now I will be taking you through these options one by one and then I'm going to train you accordingly. So please ensure that you watch this tutorial till the end so that you become a masters of all these four things that I'm going to train you on today. So let's begin forward people. So for that I have created an Excel sheet for you people, and the first thing that I'm going to train you on is data validation. Now before I actually start you training on how you people have to apply data validation entry, so what exactly is data validation? So data validation people, as the name suggests, is an option which is there in Excel which actually restricts you from making an entry, a wrong entry in the Excel, I would rather say. So that means every entry that you're going to do it in the Excel, once this formula is applied, this will ensure that the data is validated and it is cross-checked so that mistakenly any person does not makes a wrong entry in the Excel. Now, this particular data validation entry can be used for multiple things in Excel. Now, what exactly happens is, let's say that you are a person who have created an Excel sheet and now you would like to share that Excel sheet with your teammate, but you also want to restrict that whosoever is making an entry in the data, it should be actually the correct entry which should be punched in, and they should be restricted from making a wrong entry in the Excel. So that is what I'm going to tell you people today. So the format or the table that I've created for you is there in front of you people, wherein I have created a list of approximately 5 students and I'm going to make an entry of their test scores. So let's say that the test scores that anyone would be loading in this Excel sheet, let's say that you have multiple sections and you have shared this Excel sheet with all the trainers who are training that section, and you would also like to restrict it and you want to ensure that they are punching in the correct entry so that you don't have to double check the entries later on. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to use the data validation command in Excel, and this exactly is going to ensure that everyone whosoever is using this command, that person is punching in the correct entry. Now what exactly needs to be done is, so people or the trainers who are going to enter their scores, so just for the practice purpose I have created a list of 5 candidates only, but you can simultaneously practice in case of making multiple entries of the students hypothetically, and then you can go ahead and check it. So we are going to enter the test scores of approximately 5 candidates, and these test scores are out of 10. Okay, now when these test scores are out of 10, I would like to ensure that whosoever trainer is going to make an entry in this Excel sheet, once this sheet is shared with them, they should be making an entry in between the cell range 0 to 10, not greater than that. Okay, so that I as a person, once I receive this Excel report from them, I don't have to double check it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a certain command in this Excel before I share it with other candidates altogether, other trainers of mine, so that they should be punching in the correct entry. So let's quickly see what exactly we need to do. So what I would be doing is, people, I would be selecting these things, because these 5 cells altogether, because these are the 5 cells in which the trainers they are going to punch in their scores. I have selected 5 just for the practice purpose. You can go ahead and select multiple. Okay, so what we are going to do is, once we have selected these 5 cells, we are going to select on the data tab where I'm hovering my mouse. So click on the data tab or there on the top, and then I'm going to click on data validation. So you need to click on this drop down of data validation, and then you will go ahead and click on data validation. Okay, let's quickly go ahead and select the data validation. Now I also need that anyone who would be punching in the values in this cell, they should be whole numbers. So what I can do is I can go ahead and I can select whole number over here, and these whole numbers, the minimum can be 0 and the maximum should be 10. So you can see it over here. Here I am restricting anyone who is going to make an entry into this cell to be anywhere between 0 to 10 range. Minimum should be 0 and maximum should be 10, not greater than that, so that anyone mistakenly should not be putting in anything beyond 10 over here or below 0 over here. Okay, so and moreover, I would also want that once anyone would like to punch in this entry into the cell, they should be automatically shown an input message. So the input message I can put in, I can write down over here that the scores should be within 0 to 10. So I can just put this thing as a remark over here, and I can write down that is the heading to be as test score. Okay, all right. Now I have put in the test score, so this is an input message. Already this is going to be flashing in front of them before these people they go ahead and punch in any value in the cells. Okay, and I would also like to put an alert message. The error message should be, okay, so, and this is going to be, I would like to flash them over there, wrong entry. Okay, alright. So what I've done is I've made my setting people, because I only want whole numbers to be here. That is not the decimal places, I don't want it. But if you want to click ahead and go to decimal places, you can go ahead and click it over there. But just for the practice purpose, I'm selecting to be a whole number over here. Now this particular data validation, if I talk about it, can be used for multiple format. List thing, I'm just going to keep it just for a while because I'm going to train you that thing today. You can also use this data validation for the date entry if you want it in a specific format. You can also use it for the time, for the text length, and also for the custom entries altogether that you would like to customize. Okay, so I've made an input message that the moment these people or the people with whom I've shared this sheet, the moment they will see this Excel sheet and they will click on this cell altogether, there is going to be an automatic message that is going to flash up on the screen, informing them or guiding them that this is the range in which these people they have to select. And moreover, in case if any wrong entry is put up, so if you remember, we have selected the minimum number to be 0 and the maximum to be 10. That means anything beyond 10 or below 0, anyone who is going to punch in over there, they will get a pop-up message reflecting that this is the wrong entry and the score should be between 0 to 10. So once I put in all these entries over here, people, I will go ahead and I will click on the OK message. Now you can see that if I select on any of the cells over there, it is telling me that the score should be within 0 to 10. So let me just quickly go ahead and type in over there 9. Okay, so it has accepted that. Now I also want to show you if anything goes beyond the range, what exactly is happening. So let me just go ahead and type in 11 over here. So the moment I'm going to type in 11, you can see that there is a pop-up message which is coming up over here telling me that this is the wrong entry and the score should be within 0 to 10. Okay, so this weighs actually before, and it's going to wipe off that entry since it's a wrong entry altogether, and it will inform that candidate to go ahead and punch in the correct entry once again within the range that you people have selected. So this ways my data is validated. Validated means it is cross-checked basis whatever restriction I have put in this particular formula set, and it is restricting people to punch in the wrong entries altogether. So this data validation, you can use it for multiple purposes. Even in case if you want to create a customer satisfaction survey and people are loading up their remarks, and you can also go ahead and put in the restrictions over there, or it can be used for n number of things, whichever you would like to create the Excel data basis your requirement altogether. So now we people are done with our entries. So the first thing that I have trained you people today is data validation. So in an Excel, what happens is a lot of time, let's say that I'm creating a report in an Excel and I'm punching in the same entries again and again. So rather than punching in the same entries again and again, it would be beneficial and better that if there is a drop down. Okay, now what exactly exactly happens is, people, again I will take an example over here. Let's say that you have created a report, and let's say that you were interviewing the candidates. I'll take an example of an HR. So the HR is, there are n number of candidates which are lined up for today, and HR is making them, calls one after the another. And in the Excel report, being an HR, you would also like to populate what is the status of the call as well. Okay, maybe someone has picked up the call, or someone has not picked up the call, or whatever is the reason. So you would like to mention that status. Now, in a team of HR, I would not be the only candidate who is going to make them a call. So let's suppose that there is a team of near about 6 HR candidates who are simultaneously making up the calls to the candidates which are lined up for the interview one after the other, and everyone is loading up the remarks or the status. Now what exactly is going to happen is, once I will be collating the report from these 6 HR candidates who are making the calls to the interview candidates one after the other, now the remarks will have a variety. Now it would be very difficult for me as a candidate to collate the report, or that means to summarize the report. Why? Because I'm seeing a variety of options coming in front of me. So a quick fix for that could be creating a drop down list. Now what you as a person you can do is, before you are going to distribute the work for today to all the HRs to start making call to the interview candidates which are lined up for the interview one after the other, you can create a drop down list for the status of the call, so that there is uniformity of the remarks which is being loaded. Now when you set up a drop down, in the drop down I would be putting only a fix or a certain remarks, that this is the drop downs list from which you people have to select. So in this ways, once I would be sharing this report with 6 of the people in my team, there is going to be a uniformity of the remarks, and it would be easier for me as a person to collate and then to further subsequently generate a report out of it. So for that purpose, you people can go ahead and you can click on the drop down. Okay, and moreover, for me as a candidate, it would be easier for me to collate a report and then to represent a report. For them it would be easier to click on the drop down and select from the list of the options or the varieties which is available, and so they don't have to spend, and they are also going to save time on typing in the remarks of the candidate or the status of the call as well. So let's now see exactly how we can go ahead and how we people can create a drop down list. Now in case of a drop down list, so in front of you, as you people can see, I have created one report in which there are names of the candidate, and let's say that this is the status of the workshop, whether they will be coming on to attend the workshop or not. Now as you can see, let's say that I, being an HR, I started making calls. So the first person whom I called was Rohan, and that person confirmed me that he is coming. So the second person confirmed me that he is not coming. Then subsequently Disha has informed me as an HR that he is going to see whether that is he is going to attend that workshop or not. Okay, alright. And subsequently, if I talk about Rohit, is saying that when I made a call to Rohit as a person, I was cross checking the status of the workshop. That person was not at home, so someone else has picked up the call. Sankalp, when I made him a call, he was busy at this moment, so he did not attend to it. And similarly, when I made a call to Neha, that person was not answering the call. So in this ways, you people can see, I am entering the status of the candidate depending upon my thought process. So similarly, if I share, if I distribute, so at this moment it is easier because you people are seeing 10. So let's say that you are working in a data entry job altogether, or let's say that you are working as a data analyst altogether, wherein, as I was talking about, that let's suppose that you are an HR and there are 6 different people in my team whom I have shared the report, and they need to generate now the status of the remarks of the call which is being made to the interview candidate. Now you can very well understand or interpret what are the varieties that I'm going to get. For me, coming, not coming, will see is the style, but someone there might be in my team who's putting up a complete sentence. So when at the end of the day these team members, they are going to send back the report to me, it would be difficult for me to interpret altogether. So the I want that my status, remarks, they need to be standardized. Okay, so let's quickly understand how we people can go ahead and create a drop down which is going to be a fixed solution for this problem. Okay, now what you people have to do is, in whichever column you would like to put a drop down filter, what you people are going to do is you are going to select that column altogether, the entire column I'm talking about. Okay, now there are multiple ways exactly in which you people can go ahead and you can create a drop down list. I'm going to train you on both the entries all together today, and then you can see which one is matching your needs. Okay, now the first entry is people that, see, again I'm telling you, this drop down list needs to be created before you as a person you're going to distribute the task to your team. Don't do it later on, because later on it's not going to be of any use. And please do not also inform your teammates to generate a drop down list, because then also you're going to get a variety. So when you're going to segregate the task, before that only you people have to go ahead and generate a drop down list, so that there should be a uniformity of the remarks when the status is going to be uploaded. So let's quickly understand how exactly we people can do it. So I want that drop down to be in this particular column. Okay, this column. Now there are two ways of doing it. Again, the section that we are going to use it, I'm going to select my cells first of all, then I will be going on to the data tab. Once I've gone on to the data tab, I will go on to the data validation, click on data validation, and this time what I'm going to do is, from the allow section, people, you have to select the list option. Why? Because I need that my drop down list to be selected. Now the moment you people are going to select the drop down list, actually, now again there is going to be another entry that I have to enter. So it says the source means which exactly are the input things, which exactly is the source that you would like to load up over there. Now there are two ways of doing it, people. Either one way is that you put up your entries over here separated by the comma, like first one that I need it is coming, then I need it is not coming. Okay, and after that the thing that I need it is will see, and then I can go ahead and then it should be not at home. Okay, and then the next entry separated by the comma, it could be busy, and then I can go ahead and put a comma again, and then it should be not answering. So this is one way of doing it that I'm telling you. Okay, so this is one way. All right, and once I punched in the entries, that is, I can go ahead and I can click on OK. Now the moment I have clicked on OK, you people can see that automatically in all the cells, whichever I am clicking, there is a drop down list which is created. So you can select over here, and if you want to select the update, you can click on the drop down, and you can see that there is a list of options which is available, from which I can quickly go ahead and I can select it. So that I am also saving my time in typing in the remarks of the status of the telephone call being made also. So this is one way of doing it that I've already informed you, that you people can write it down somewhere, and then you can go ahead and copy paste it. Okay, so this is one way, people, that I've just trained you. Another way of doing it is, I can do the copy the remarks, and then I can paste it somewhere in my Excel sheet. Okay, let's say I've pasted over here, and what I can do is, I will go back to the create my drop down tab, click on that tab, and please be back over there. I'll take out the entries from here. Alright, and since before sharing the report, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select all the cells over here, and then I will go on the top, click on data. Once I've clicked on the data, I will go to data validation drop down, then click on data validation, and I will go to the allow section. In the setting, go to allow, click on the drop down, and then select list from here. And once I've clicked on the source, I will click over here in the source. Once you see the cursor, go to the sheet in which you people have put in the drop down entries, select it. Now once I've selected it, I can go ahead and then I can click on OK. I can go ahead and click on OK. So this way is also, this is another way of doing it, because this was also the additionally the report is or the drop down is selected. But I need to inform you one more thing. If you are following the second method that I've already trained you, please ensure the sheet in which you people have actually, created this drop down list, this sheet need to be hidden. I mean, this sheet should not be visible, so you need to go ahead and you need to hide this sheet altogether. This should not be visible, because if mistakenly any of this sheet, that is any of this entry is by mistake it is punched and wrong entries made, in whichever cells it is going to, that is going to be uploaded automatically. So this ways you have to hide it. So that's one way. So please ensure to click the hide button. Okay, so I will go back to the create my drop down entry, this sheet tab once again. I will go back to data validation, and there is one more thing that I can do it. Though I have selected the source, I can also input my messages, that I can say it over here, kindly select from the drop down list, from the drop down list. Okay, so this ways again what is going to happen is, with every cell it is going to pre-intimate them that these people they have to select only from the drop down. So that ways also you people can go ahead and do it. So please, once again, let me just quickly remind you people, there are two ways of creating the drop down list. Let's do a quick recap. One thing is, first of all, please select all the cells, go to data, go to data validation drop down, click on data validation, go to settings. In the allow, you need to click on the drop down, you will select on the list option. In the source, either you can type it manually, or please ensure whichever is the option that you people need to select, that has to be in a separate cell, and then you can select those cells and automatically the source is going to be highlighted. You can also add the input message or the error message if you want. That's totally up to your need, people, whether you want to add it or not. So now we are done with the second task for today also, that is creating a drop down list, okay, altogether. Now the third thing which I'm going to train you today is, people, that is called as remove duplicates. Now, remove duplicates, as the name suggests, this is an entry in an Excel which we basically use if mistakenly there is a duplicate entry which is there in the Excel, due to which the report that I'm generating is not correct. That could be a revenue report altogether, that could be a sales report altogether, or it could be anything. Or it could also be that my total number of candidate needs to be 30, but mistakenly it is somehow coming out to be 31. So I can quickly go ahead, I can use this remove duplicate entry, which will automatically remove the duplicate entries from my Excel sheet altogether. But again, I'm telling you people, please be very cautious while using this remove duplicate entry, because that entry which is duplicate is automatically going to be deleted. So you need to ensure that the report on which you are going to apply this duplicate entry has to be cross validated as well. So please ensure, then only go ahead and use it. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly I'm trying to say. So I've created a short table in front of you, okay, and in this table you people can see that Neha and there is one Sneha. Okay, let's do it just for the sake of remove duplicate. I'll change this Neha to Neha. Okay, all right, so let's do it. So now you people can see that there are two Neha in this list, but there has to be an additional cross that is additional entry which should validate that the Neha which is there, because as of now, just for the practice purpose, I have only created name and the status option. So in case if I talk about you, please ensure there has to be another identifier like a registration number or a roll number. So only in case if the roll number of the two candidates they are same, then only go ahead and delete it as a duplicate entry, otherwise not, because otherwise net Neha could be any other candidate as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, again I would be selecting the cells on which I need to apply this command altogether. So you will be selecting those cells, go to the data, select on data, and then click on this remove duplicates option. Okay, so you are going to duplicate that specific entries from the sheet, so you can go ahead and click on that. Okay, So this particular entry, the moment you go ahead and click on that, it is asking you what do you want to do. Do you want to expand your selection or do you want to go with the current selection? See, I am very much, sure that yes, that I would like to go with my current selection. Why? Because I know that my data is validated and I want to go ahead and remove the duplicate entry. So what I can do is, so maybe in case if the registration number and the name is there, I would be choosing the column in which registration number is there, because the number is always unique. Okay, because registration number is a unique entry for a candidate. Even if I talk about roll number is a unique entry for a candidate, however the name they can be same for multiple candidates as well. So I will go ahead, I will go with the continue with the current selection, and then I will click on remove entry. So once you have selected that, see, it is telling you that you have selected the column in which the name is there, and then you will click on OK. So the moment you will click on OK, you can see it has removed the duplicate entry, and there are 9 unique values which are there. So that means since Neha was twice in that column, so it has removed that name altogether. Okay, so please ensure, and as I'm already saying it, people, you need to be double sure that when you're using this remove duplicate entry, okay, go ahead and that is your, because in case if you're talking about expand selection, I wanted to show you this thing as well. See, if I go to the remove duplicate section, and if I go with the now the first option, which is expand the selection, and click on remove duplicate, it has selected the name and the status as well, just for the case it is telling you actually. But in case if you want to unselect the serial number and you want to unselect that, that's totally basis that. But maybe in case if in my report it would have been name and registration number, then I would have selected name and registration number both. Then the entry which would have been deleted, that would have been validated. Why? Because as I'm saying, registration number is unique for a candidate, then the chances of deleting the wrong entry is accurate altogether. Okay, alright, so you can go ahead and you can use this. So once again, people, remove duplicate entry is used as an Excel where mistakenly a wrong entry is there, and however your end result is not coming up accurate. But as I've said, please cross validate your data before you people go ahead and use this command. Now, last but not the least, the command that I'm going to train you on today is text to column. Now, a lot of time what happens is, let's say that there was a survey report that I have generated, and once that survey report result I have received, this is the format in which the result is received, right? That means I do have the names of the candidate, however it is separated by a comma. Now you know this thing very well, that in an Excel, if I would like to apply any command on to this specific cell in which the entries they are separated by comma, it's not going to work. So what I need is, just for the case, so I don't want to waste my additional time, wherein that is the name, the first name should be in one column and the second last name should be in another column. Or I want, so this is just for the practice purpose I have taken the names, people, or it could be n number of things. Sometime what happens is that you were trying to collect you have generated a population survey wherein the gender is there, then if I talk about the candidate, number of candidate in that state is there, and everything has popped up in one specific cell separated by the comma. Now I need all the entries to be which are separated by the comma in different cells, all in different columns altogether. So this text to column entry is basically used when in one cell where there are entries separated by comma, I want them to be in individual columns altogether. Okay, so that is what we people are going to do it. So what I'm going to do is, people, I'm going to select all the entries, you are going to select all the cells. Okay, and then what you will do is, you will go on the top, click on data, and then you have to go to text to column. Okay, now once you click on text to column, it has to be delimited, and then you're going to click on next. So it is going to be like a wizard thing which is going to pop up in front of you, in which there are going to be 3 steps. You're going to click on next. Now you need to ensure that in delimiters it has to be comma and the space. Okay, now when you're going to select in delimiters the commas and the space, it is going to put them into different columns altogether. Okay, alright, so then you're going to click on next. The moment you're going to click on the next section, what exactly is going to happen is, let me just click on finish and show it to you. Now you can see that my first name is in one cell and my second entry is in another cell. Okay, so once again people, this text to column entry is used when my different entries are there in one specific cell separated by a comma, and I would like each entry to be in a different column to generate a better report out of it. So then you can go ahead and you can use this text to column entries. So just for today people, I've trained you on four things. One is data validation. Okay, second thing that I've trained you on today was how to create a drop down filters. Then I've also trained you how you can remove your duplicate entries, and last but not the least, I have trained you on how you can convert the text which is in one specific cell to different columns altogether. Okay, alright. So please ensure that you watch this video, that is multiple times, so that you people train yourself better equipped on these commands that I have trained you, because these are very beneficial once you are in working as a data analyst, or once you're working as data entry operator, or even if I don't talk about data entry operator or the data analyst, anyone who is working in the corporate, we make use of these commands altogether. So please ensure that you have your hands-on practice on these commands altogether. So, and those who are watching my channel and who have not subscribed to my channel yet, I would request you to please go ahead, quickly subscribe to Cherub Teaching Center. There are more things that I'm going to bring in your way. Okay, in case if you have any queries, people, you can reach me on Instagram on cherub.teaching.center. You can also reach me on Facebook at Cherub Teaching Center. In case if you want to reach me on Microsoft Teams, you can reach me on Cherubians altogether. So this was all which was planned for you people today. Thank you very much people, and have a nice day ahead.